another one of my favorite sites. We visited the Church of Corinth. Paul made 2 missionary journeys here and actually stayed 18 months, which was an extremely long time for him to stay in any area and was the longest he'd ever stayed. We saw a plaque with a guy's name on it that actually appeared in the Bible, which was pretty cool. Corinth was known for being really bad and a church that had a lot of problems. They were known for their sexual immorality, and if you were called a Corinthian lass, well, it kind of meant that you were, The temple of Aphrodisia actually had several hundred priestesses who doubled as prostitutes. Then we went to the Corinthian Museum. Apparently in Corinth, everybody wanted to get a statue made of themselves, so the artists started mass producing these bodies. And then when someone wanted to get a statue, they would just create their head and add it to the body, and bam, you got yourself a statue. There was this room at the Corinth Museum that had all these clay body parts. If you had a sickness, you would make a clay replication of whatever part that was ailing you, whether it was your foot or your hand or your toe or your womb that didn't bear children, and would bring it to the healing shrine of the god Asclepius. People would stay for months hoping to get healed. Our tour guide had told us that Paul knew this cultural tradition, and that's why he related the Church of Christ to all the different body parts. Everyone was really excited because of this and started taking all these different pictures. I too was going to get out my camera and start taking pictures when I realized what most of the clay reproductions actually were. A lot of their versions of STDs. All I'm going to say is that Corinth was definitely a city known for their sexual immorality. I think one of the reasons that Corinth is one of my favorite sites was because of how Paul related to the Corinthians. The Corinthian people were some of the first people that Paul had ministered to that didn't have roots of the Jewish faith. And I think Paul was using them as an experiment in a way to say and to prove that the gospel is for everyone and that the gospel is for individuals who have messed up and that you aren't perfect. And no one can be perfect, and that's why we need Jesus. The Corinthian people were probably known for being almost unreachable in a way because of all their sexual immorality. I'm sure Paul got really frustrated at many times in thinking, is this hopeless? Is there really any point? Will they really change? And to see then their transformation and their redemption of how God used Paul to renew such a culture of filth and immorality into the biggest church that he had ever pastored. I think that is so cool. I'm really excited to take Paul's message of the pure gospel of grace to a similar culture. Only the gospel of grace can help people overcome the bondages that they are in.